I worked at Armstrong World Industries for many years. And during that time, I supported all of our manufacturing facilities around the world. But most of my Kaizen success stories start at our Macon, Georgia plant, which was our largest plant in our network and the biggest ceiling tile plant in the world. Now, after a while, I got a reputation and was called the conveyor whisperer because I focused on improving flow of ceiling tiles around the line to reduce jams. Now, David, the business unit manager for the production area in Macon, was interested in my approach and wanted my help to improve flow and reduce jams on the busiest line in the Macon plant. So he said, hey, take a walk around the line, see if you think you can help us, and then let me know what you need, and I'll support you during the week. So I walked around the line, and I was watching the ceiling tiles flow, and there were just many, many guides on the conveyors that were set up kind of in a funnel orientation. And in some locations, those funnels would pinch the ceiling tiles from time to time, causing them to rotate and sometimes jam. So I talked with David about my approach to straightening out some of the guides and removing some around the line. And he was skeptical. He didn't really think that my approach would work, but since I was down there, he was willing to let me experiment and give me a team. So we had a little bet. He said if my experiment worked, I could stay for the rest of the week, and if not, he'd put me on the next corporate jet to home. So he gave me a team of a few operators, a couple of mechanics, and one of his supervisors, and gave us some autonomy to do our work and shut the line down where necessary, as long as we communicated properly to the staff and the people on the line. So we walked around the line as a team and found an area that seemed to be in worse shape than any others, which was an area where boards were trying to be stacked in a square and cube fashion. And from time to time, they were getting rotated and jamming into this stacker. So we created a plan, informed everybody else on the line, and even told David that we would need about 2 hours of downtime. And even though he looked a little unsure and skeptical, he did give us the approval, and we shut down the line. Well, it took about 2.5 hours, and David came out from time to time just to poke fun at us and give me a little pressure about the corporate jet was waiting for me at any time. But he also seemed intrigued because as he looked at what we were doing, we were straightening guides out, we were skewing rollers so that they would bring the boards to the guide, and the idea was to make the boards straight and keep them straight and centered as they went into the stacker. When we finished our work, we removed our locks and we started the line. And lo and behold, the boards stacked almost perfectly. Well, David told me that my flight would have to wait. I had to finish the rest of the line, and I had the rest of the week to do that. So the team just kept going, very excited as the line continued to improve its performance during the week. So for the rest of the week, we must have removed at least a dozen guides, if not more, and skewed rolls on the line to force boards to be straight all the way around. At the end of the week, when we took all the locks off and we started the line back up for full production, boards just seemed to flow better than anybody had ever remembered. And David told me that we should have removed more guides, and if I wanted to help out on other lines, he'd be happy to make travel arrangements for me.
I hope this story provided you with some inspiration to revisit your own processes. I have a lot more I'd like to share. Head over to pi-partners.com to learn how I can help. And check back from time to time for more Kaizen stories.